Hey George, how's it going? What's up, Raz? Hey, Raccoon. Well, it's only a happy Friday for me now. For about 4 hours, I had to deal with Comcast and a new modem I got. Of course, Comcast. I don't know if you guys have Comcast. Oh man, they changed up my plan. They jacked up my prices. So the modem I had was going to hell. So I bought a new one, non-stop. Hey, Scrot. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. All the way in Brazil, huh? Yeah, I almost didn't stream tonight either, but now that I finally got the networking, I figured let's test everything out. There's a pain in the ass. I wish I could get like Vios or Verizon here, but Comcast is the only place in my area. And there's no competition, so I have no choice. So it's funny. I was at an 800 the 800 megabits per second plan. They jacked it up to like 110, and there was no deals. But if I got the 1200, it was cheaper. So now I'm paying $90 a month for the 1200. It's crazy. Before the lockdowns, I was paying $30 a month for internet, and now I'm paying $90. Unreal. And there's nothing cheaper. Yeah, I contacted Verizon like 2 years ago or 3 years ago, and they were like, they said that they're not putting the infrastructure here, so I can't get it. So, hey, what's up, Wells? Hey, Iceman. And I'm not doing satellite because all the people who had satellite here said it was the worst experience ever because of the area. So there's no reason to get satellite. So I'm pretty much stuck with Comcast. And the sad thing is they could keep jacking up the prices and there's nothing I could do about it. But got the new modem hooked up. I fixed up my router. So everything is running pretty damn fast now. So far no hiccups. So hopefully the stream looking pretty good. But it seems my old modem basically went to crap too. So that, I guess that thing was going on 5 years old, so. Wait, CG Trader? What's going on? I mean, I figured the AI was going to happen sooner or later, but what exactly are they doing with CG Trader with the AI? This whole AI thing is coming so fast, there's no way of stopping it now. We're going to end up in Skynet. Oh, so what they're doing is they're taking all the 3D models and it's going to become a program where you can dial in like, I want Storm from X-Men, and then all of a sudden they'll generate a Storm from X-Men model and you can download it. Is that what they're doing? Which I figured was going to happen sooner or later. I mean, they're doing it with 2D artwork. You figured they were going to do it with 3D sooner or later. Eh. Yep, it was a matter of time. So all the 3D sculptors out there, they're gonna have to really come up with some new shit, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, it's yep. Pretty soon there's gonna be a website. And you're going to be able just to type in exactly what you want done, and they're going to AI sculpt it for you, and then you can just sit there and print it out on your printer. That's where we're headed. Damn. I didn't think CG Trader would start it off, but I guess they are. Yeah, I look at a lot of the AI artists now on Instagram, and the AI artist has taken over my feed. There's so many AI guys out there now, and the artwork is, I have to say, the artwork is pretty good. There's a lot of flaws in some of the anatomies on pictures, but it's coming so fast now that it's hard to find traditional artists because the AI stuff is being overloaded. And it's a lot of these traditional guys are just getting like pushed aside. That's kind of crazy. Well, there's going to be people who are going to really adapt AI and like stick with it, but I think there's still going to be people who love traditional, fun, crafts and hobby stuff. So while AI is going to take over a lot, it's not going to take over everything, but a lot of people are going to lose jobs though. I saw some articles over the past month where businesses are using AI to help develop their products and also like streamline the business. So I see that some people are starting to lose their jobs now. So I guess I'll be doing my hobby for fun and waiting on the breadline like everybody else in a few more years. I guess that's where we're headed. At this rate, who the hell knows what's going to happen anymore? Oh yeah, no problem, Iceman. Hopefully the packing and everything works out. I still say what's going to happen with AI is it's coming fast, it's going to take over a lot of stuff, but I think the younger generation are going to grow up with it, and that's all they're going to know. I think our generation are going to be like, we still like traditional stuff, we still like hobbies, we like doing it ourselves, and then the younger generation is going to be very like they're going to just be ingrained in with it. So I guess that's how I see it going. Just like, you know, what was it? Millennials got so addicted to cell phones and social media, and Gen Z? They're just like, they grew up on social media only. So. Oh well, who knows what's gonna happen. Or, you know what'll happen is by the time AI, like, starts taking over all the businesses, they'll push the button like Skynet, and it'll just end it all anyway. So, Iceman, I'm doing all right. Just busy week dealing with internet, Comcast. But other than that, just got a lot of stuff done this week. Trying to gather myself. I've been on the phone with Comcast for like 4 hours, so just trying to see what I need to get caught up on. Legislation is just going to be whatever companies back up the idiots who vote, and then they'll vote for what businesses want the AI for, and then we'll all get screwed. So I have no faith in the legislation. It's I think what's going to have to happen is people are going to have to learn how to work on farms again until robots start taking over that. 'Cause at this point, you'll be able to start a company, run an AI program for the whole damn company. Wells, yeah, you can either email me or you could send it to me on Instagram. If you have my email, or if you want to contact me on my website, I'll reply. This way you get my email. Yeah, no Facebook. The people who track me down, it works out. Hold on. on a second. Just getting some. So, what was it? I went to see my parents this week. So while I was up there, I stopped off at the art store. Figured let me grab a couple extra paintbrushes while I was around there. And even with their Black Friday sales, everything was crazy expensive. So I asked the guy, I was like, "These are your Black Friday sales?" He said, "That's the best we can do." I was like, holy crap. Used to be able to get these brushes for like $1.60. Now they're almost like $3 a brush. I think the back to school sales are still the better deals, but still not that great. Where the hell was this, Iceman? Telling you, we're Skynet is coming. And when it gets here, I'm just gonna be like, whatever. Yeah, Arnold tried to warn us. But it's too late. And then YouTube's been acting up. Another like 8 videos of mine got hit with copyright strikes because of music. I don't know what the hell is going on. The music I have is royalty free, but somebody or some company's claiming the music. So even after this stream, I'll get hit again with another strike. Well, it's not like a strike against the account. It's just letting you know that this music is not registered or whatever the hell it is, and it's just annoying. I don't know what YouTube. Oh, and yeah, Iceman, I got a reply of your comment from a reply on Rumble. So that was like the first comment I got from somebody on Rumble that actually emailed me saying that you have a comment on Rumble. Yeah, I got a funny feeling next year is going to be a shift in a lot of the streaming stuff and sites, because it seems a lot of people are getting frustrated with YouTube. Oh, Wells, if you message me, find out that trade, let me know, because that's something to get into. Call up my IRA guy from my old job and tell him to throw some money in there. It's not a bad idea. Yeah, actually, I'm serious, Wells. Get a hold of me and get me that ID, that info. Because my guy from Morgan Stanley calls me all the time and tries to get me to change certain things. Yeah, I heard over here in the USA, all these self-checkout machines, they're going to start getting rid of them in Walmarts, because it turns out they thought they were going to save more money by not having people check you out, but people are actually stealing from the self-checkouts, they said. So it turns out Walmart was losing way more money than having hired cashiers, because you figure, like, people are checking out stuff and they'll like slip maybe an extra can of tuna or something. So even if it's like a can of tuna for like $2, $3, that adds up over time if a lot of people are doing it. And then I've also heard that elderly people sometimes think they scan it, but they don't, and they realize, and the people at the watching them don't pay attention. So but yeah, I've heard a lot of this self-checkout stuff is losing a lot of companies' money. I mean, I could have told them that when they installed it. Like, you guys do realize that people are going to jack stuff from you. Because, you know, when you do that, when you leave, like, Walmart and a person checks your receipt, I actually walk by them and they're like, "Can I see your receipt?" I'd be like, "No, I self-checked out. You don't need to see my receipt." I'm like, if you need to see my receipt, you shouldn't have self-checkout machines. And I just walk by them. I mean, I don't steal anything, but it's like, I just did all the work of self-checkout and you still need to see my receipt. So Yeah, over by me, the ShopRite installed 15 new self-checkout machines. And honestly, the two girls that are helping everybody self-checkout, because the machines are so picky, if you put your, like how you bring your own bags to the store now because you're not allowed to have plastic bags anymore. If you put those bags on the weight area after you scan your item, it causes the machine to screw up. So, and then they got to come over, they got to scan it, and then a lot of people don't know what stuff to type in for your food. It's kind of a mess, but whatever. And the other thing too is if you actually know how to self checkout. So for instance, I buy rolls every once in a while, like regular rolls for sandwiches at my shop, right? So they have dinner rolls and they have regular rolls. So if you buy the dinner rolls, they're more expensive. But what people do is they just hit the regular rolls button, so you're paying for less than you're net paying with the dinner rolls. So it's like that's what a lot of people are doing too. So say if you want tomatoes on a vine or you want hothouse tomatoes, one's more expensive than the other. So you just type in the other one and then you weigh that one. So if the girls aren't watching you, that's how they're losing money. Sadly, here by me, if you want to go into the checkout with a person, they only have two people running a register, and everything else is self checkout. And you'll literally be waiting like an hour just to get checked out by a person. So it's better just to go ahead and do it. But that's where we're at now. Actually, I probably wouldn't even be worried about Skynet. I think what's going to happen is they're just going to make sex robots, and then the sex robots will just take over everything. It won't even be wars. It's kind of where we're headed. They'll take the AI and they'll take all the worker robots and they'll just turn them into sex robots, and then that's going to be what this world is all about. Yeah, that's it's gonna be some funny stories. the the be some like Futurama episodes, you know. Can't wait to see the news headlines. So and so gets murdered by sex robot or vacuum cleaner robot or something, you know? What the hell does he want? My Deadly Friend? I don't remember that movie. I've probably seen it, but I don't remember it. What is it about? Well, I didn't didn't whatchamacallit, Microsoft create an AI account for Twitter or something, and that AI account pretty much sucked in all the information from Twitter and social media and became like a racist bigot. Something happened with it, and they had to pull the AI system offline because at first it was like a child, then it self-learned, and before you knew it, it was like a racist. So, AI is taking all the information off the internet, but I think what people forget when they create AI is a lot of people on the internet, especially from Generation X, like to shitpost. And whatever we post isn't really what we think, or, you know, isn't the truth. It's just that we're being a shitposter, you know? And I think AI takes that as like gospel, and it creates like this whole false, AI algorithm. Because I don't know about you guys, but when the internet first came out, I used to shitpost too when I was younger, you know? You go into a chat room and you just talk shit to people, and then you just leave for the day. But we're talking about old chat room stuff. Old chat room stuff. Yeah, there you go. Michael knows. Yeah, those AOL chat rooms. Oh my god, they were fun. You were completely anonymous then. There was no way they were gonna track you. I'll never forget the first time I went over to my friend's house, and he says, "Come on, we're gonna go in this chat room. We're gonna screw around." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" This was before I even had the internet. He was like one of my first friends that had it, and we went into a AOL chat room, and it was like, I don't know, I forgot what it was, and he typed in ASL and all that. I'm like, "What is that? Like, what does that mean?" And he had to explain the whole entire thing to me. And then we were there for hours just shit talking to people. It was hilarious. Oh, can you imagine all the younger kids these days in the old chat rooms? Oh man, those were fun days. I guess when did all that chat room stuff end? I guess when Facebook came out. No, MySpace. I guess when MySpace is kind of when that stuff died out. I think. I don't know. I never joined MySpace. I never had an account on MySpace. That's how much I never wanted to be part of all this crap. It was funny, I went through a lot of my brother's collectibles and he had some of the old AOL CDs and I still have them to this day. I remember used to taking the AOL CDs, scuff them, and then airbrush like flags on them and sell them to friends. You know, that they could put on their rear view mirrors. Is MySpace still active? I didn't know it was still active. I thought it was like shut down or something. Like I said, I never had an account on there. Even back then, I was like, I don't care about this weird social media stuff. Guess that's why I lost contact with a lot of kids I grew up with. They want to be a part of all that stuff. We need to bring back the OG internet. I saw, whatchamacallit, with like, that Fortnite game, they brought back OG Fortnite, which I guess is just like, you know, before it got all out of whack. We need to do that with the internet. Just OG internet. Hey Raccoon, you said you play Warcraft. Are you talking about World of Warcraft? If it's World of Warcraft, I played beta when it first came out up to God, I forget the expansion. Till around 2009, whenever that was. Probably already playing the game. Flows a little bit better. Thanks, Iceman. Yeah, getting there little by little. Keep building it up a bit. Adding stuff. Sorry, getting out of camera there. Yeah, there's no removing any of this. This is all attached, period. A little bit difficult to paint, but I'll get there. If her head was removable, like with a collar or something, I would be able to do this differently, but yeah, this is all, this isn't going anywhere. This is one solid piece. It's actually, almost top heavy. Almost. But that's why I said I was going to stylize it my way a little bit. So I just keep on adding more into certain areas and just kind of keep playing with it. Removable hair, like head and hair, is a pain in the ass, especially if you want it to sit on the shoulder. So if I was to have this sit on the shoulder and the head was movable, it'd be a royal pain in the ass. Because like the way it's curved onto the body, like to have a head that kind of clicks there and makes it look good is hard. So sometimes sculpting hair doesn't always look good if it's a removable head. That's why I like to sculpt a basic shape, do some lines, and then start adding in more like that stuff. And you get more of a, you can kind of fluff it up, do more detail, instead of trying to do it all in one shot. Hey, what's up, Terrell? Nothing much, just working. Hopefully your day's going well. Yeah, hopefully I don't snap those off. You know what? I think I'm gonna have to add these later. I'll probably snap them right now. For support, what do you mean? For inside a statue or for like the going in the foot in the base? For what kind of support? If you're doing it for the foot in a base, square is better so your character doesn't twist. But if you're gonna repair an arm, any rod would do. Yeah, I would use a square for the base. Whatchamacall, you don't want to use a round rod because it'll twist. Like, even for her, when I replace a rod, it's a square rod, so she doesn't twist. Always square for the foot in the base. Always any kind of rod for repairing arms. Travis, hold on, let me wash my hands. I'll show you the paint. So this way you know. Alright, so if you're going to paint yellow, what I do is I'll use raw sienna, I'll use like an orange, and you could kind of mix together to get like a raw sienna orange, and then sort of blend down your yellows with this. Never, ever, ever use blues, greens, or browns with black in it. So, like this, this raw umber, this has got sort of like a black blue in there, and it'll muddy up your yellow. Stay away from any of this stuff. You wanna, for whenever I paint Wolverines or any kind of yellow, these are like the colors I use, raw sienna or oranges. Because if you use any of those blues, browns, any of those darker colors, it kills your yellow. It'll absolutely kill it. So if you look on like, look up some 90s comic books, like the X-Men books that were colored by liquid. Go to the comic book store, convention, try to find some 90s covers or even interior books that were like Uncanny X-Men or regular X-Men books that were colored by liquid. You would see like it's got that old like 90s type of like artwork. If you look at the way they colored Wolverine, they used a lot of these like, oranges and raw siennas in the colors, and that kind of will help you see what colors to use. Like the minute you throw this like burnt umber into yellow, it completely destroys it and makes it look like black and muddy shading. You want to stay away from that. And then if you want, if I have a bottle here, so I mixed up a character I'm painting that's yellow. So you see this yellow here? It's like a mustard yellow. It's not like a bright yellow out of the bottle. It's because in this color I put a couple drops of orange and I put a couple drops of raw sienna, and I got myself a mustard yellow. Try to stay away from like yellow straight out of the bottles and give yourself like a mustard yellow, because you kill your yellows. Like for an example, I'm painting up the pyro. So if you could kind of see my yellow, it's got these oranges and raw siennas in the yellow, so it doesn't destroy it and make it look all kind of messed up. So that's the best way I paint yellows. Hey, what's up, Scott? I see too many paint ups of Wolverines, and when I look at the shadings, there's too much of like heavy browns and like blacks into it, and then the yellow starts to become a very muddy color. So I would suggest trying to stay away from it the best you can. I mean, Wells, that sounds like a good idea for yellows. It's just that personally, I try to stay away from anything that's going to destroy a yellow, you know? The only reason why I know this is because in art school, we, in my freshman year, the art school I went to, they made us do a lot of color mixing. So we would have to actually make palettes of color from 10% like blue all the way up to 100% blue. And you'd have to learn on how to get to that mid-grade to a darker grade without mixing just black into the paint. So you would have to mix like, greens or purples or reds into the blues and sort of try to get that darker blue without just throwing black paint into it. So one of the hardest colors was yellow. And I got a friend of mine who sent me a Sentry kit that I have to paint up, and of course it's all yellow, and he has to be a real prick about it too. So, and if he's watching the stream or does watch it, he knows who I'm talking about. Not only is Sentry a horrible character, but he's all yellow, so that's going to be a pain in the ass to paint. Yeah, see, if you have a, like yellow is also a color you need to know what could go over. So, if you have a blue color on the bottom, and you spray yellow over it, you're gonna get a green tint coming through. Because yellow is, like, there's not many yellow paints out there that are solid yellow that go on pure yellow. There's always like a transparent tint to it. So if you spray yellow over a black base, a brown base, green seems to work pretty well. But if you spray it over like blue, you get a little bit of a green tint. So whenever I try and paint yellow, I try to keep it, the base, a decent color. Yellow is just a really, really pain in the ass color, and it's just not something easy to work with. And a lot of mistakes that a lot of people make is right away they'll throw in like a brown or a black, thinking that's going to darken it up, and it just turns into pure mud. So, and that's one of the mistakes I made like my freshman year too. Is like, oh yeah, we just mix, black in there, and it just turns to like nasty mush. But some yellow brands too are worse than other brands. So like Createx yellow is probably one of the worst yellow brands out there because that yellow like cracks and just is a horrible yellow. So that's another thing too. Some yellows are not made all that great. Yeah, a lot of regular Createx paint, like just regular Createx paint, is pretty shitty. But Wicked Colors is really good. But like the red from Createx and the yellow from Createx and the white from Createx are really bad paints. But the Wicked Colors are good. So and like I say, with paints, I think you get what you pay for. So that's why I buy Citadel's P3 formulas, because those paints are really, really good, even though it's a small bottle. Terrell, Liquitex titanium, probably soft body is okay, but I feel that Liquitex is very like rubbery. But so far, this Wicked Colors white is the best white I've ever used. So if you see my Power Girl paint-ups, this is what I use. And this right out of the bottle, I have no problems with. As long as it's fresh Wicked Colors white. If this starts to get thicker over time, it gets a little bit of a, like if it dries out on you. But this Wicked Colors white is the best white. And plus it's very like after it cures up, it becomes like pretty durable. So this is the best white I've ever used. If Wicked Colors white gives you issues, it's probably because it gets kind of dried up on you and it starts to become thick. So you might have to just kind of thin it down a bit with some water and alcohol. Whenever I thin my paints, my acrylics, I usually do it in my airbrush cup itself. So like say I'm mixing a color and it needs to be thinned down. I have this bottle. So this is about 10% of alcohol and the rest is water. And I use 70% alcohol in here. So if I'm mixing in my cup and it needs to be thinned down a bit, I just pour some of this in there and then I use a paintbrush real quick or something to mix it in my airbrush cup. So this is what I use to thin down acrylics. The reason I use the alcohol is because it helps like dry it up a little bit faster, and also it's something that I've been doing since art school where they say use alcohol because if you mix paints in a bottle and you use regular water, sometimes you get like mildew and mold build into it, so the alcohol kind of keeps it a little bit fresher. I don't know if you remember those canisters for film back in the day, you know, the black canisters with the rubber top. We used to collect those at the local photography store, and we used to mix our paints in those, but over time those paints would start creating mold. So we would mix it with alcohol to keep it from that mold growing. So whenever I thin down my paints in the bottles with these bottles, I put that water / alcohol into it to thin it down. I know some people use acrylic thinner. I don't like using acrylic thinner because I feel acrylic thinner sort of gets a little gummy on me, and I'd rather use just a straight up water and alcohol. I mean, Liquid Text is fine, Terrell. I mean, there's no. At the end of the day, as long as your painting comes out good, it's fine. You know, there's some people who are like, oh no, you're not using the correct stuff. Use whatever the hell works for you. So a lot of people do like to use Liquid Text out of a tube or Liquid Text soft body because you get more bang for your buck. You know. And you can make it last longer by thinning it down. But it's up to you, basically, you know? See, I think for now, like whenever I buy Liquid Text, if it's out of the tubes, that's for when I use my dry brush and then I paint on a base, because I like the way that stuff goes on very thick. But if I need to mix something in airbrush and I need to use Liquid Text, I try to buy the soft body because the soft body is a little bit thinner. So, like, so if you use Liquid Text out of the heavy body, this stuff goes a lot longer, but it's really hard to thin this stuff down because it's so thick and potent. But you can thin it down. But if you buy the soft body, it's like a little bit like of a downgrade from the hard body because it's a little bit softer and it's easier to thin it down. You know? And then after soft body, they have the, I guess airbrush or free flow or whatever it is from like Golden. But yeah, heavy body heavy body is more for like, you know, a canvas and paintbrushing and stuff. Soft body is more for like hobby paints and maybe thinning it down. You know, it's like you got your grades of paints too. I mean, we all got our formulas. You know, I know some people, they live on soft bodies only, you know, for a lot of their paint ups. I personally like to use Citadels and P3 formula paints mostly. You know, I like Vallejo, Model Airs. I like P3 formulas. So I like to buy these paints mostly. You know, your Model Airs from Vallejo, your Formula P3s and Citadels, because these colors are so like rich. And you know they're made for like these here are made for like the miniature figures with a paintbrush, but if you thin these down enough and you go through an airbrush, they go on so smooth onto your item, and they're really good. And I like the colors and I like how they like blend on statues. So that's why even though these are more expensive per bottle, I really don't burn through them as much as you think. So you know I can make these bottles go for long projects if I need to. So, I mean, it's like, you know, if you feel hard body and soft body is your paints and you want to, like, get more for your buck, those are really good to use. But for me, I'd rather have some nice quality paints that are higher end for what I do. It's just preference, I guess you can say. Some people will say it doesn't matter, all paints are the same, blah blah blah, but it's actually not true. Because if you're an oil painter or you're an acrylic painter on canvases, you know, there's some paints that could be like $50, $60 a tube, but those paints are so rich and so smooth that they make a world of a difference. Yeah, I don't like thinners. I'm not a fan of, and especially airbrush thinners. I feel that airbrush thinners just clog up and they get a little bit gummy, and it's just not worth like painting an item only to have it all screw up on me. So try the water and alcohol. It's like it. The only problem with water and alcohol is over time the alcohol starts to deteriorate and your paint might thicken up a bit. But if you pour some more water and alcohol in there, you could kind of bring it back. But then again, paint's also changed a lot back from when I was in art school. A lot of those paints were formulated differently back then, so that's why they got a lot of like mildew and mold on them. So over the years, I think the paint companies fixed that like issue where they don't get moldy and stuff. But it's just kind of ingrained into me by now, so I just kind of keep doing it. But yeah, it was funny. We didn't. The teacher didn't tell us to do it our freshman year until like a month later. We opened up our bottles and there was all this like mold growing out of it, and the smell was nasty. And he's like, "This is why you have to use alcohol in your acrylics." Hey, what's up, JC? Yeah, we used to there was a color called vermilion hue or vermilion. And back in art school, I mean, of course, we're going back at 1997 to 98. That color was like the perfect color for skin tone. And back then, a bottle, like just a tube of it, like a tube that big for acrylic paints, was I think vermilion hue was about I think $20 back then, and that was like a lot of money. So what we did is we bought the bottle of vermilion, not the vermilion hue, because vermilion was a little bit cheaper and it was closer to it. Because like going to art school as a kid, it's expensive. But a lot of the teachers who did it for a living, they were buying those bottles of vermilion hue like crazy. So, but yeah, there's a lot of bottles out there of paint that are very, very expensive. But if you're a famous painter and you can afford it, it's a different story. But then again, a lot of famous painters could get away with a $5 bottle of paint and bang out a masterpiece. So that's good, JC. Hopefully you get better with that sleeping thing. Yeah, I don't use distilled water. I just use faucet water. But then again, the water I have in my town, in my area, might be different from the water in your area. So maybe the faucet water for me is okay, whereas the water by you might be too soft or too hard. So that's also a possibility. I know a couple guys in the hobby got pissed off at me because I said I use my faucet water. But I'm like, well, it's working for me, so I don't see an issue. Yeah, well, my faucet water is sort of like, what is it, fluoride or chlorine in it. You can sort of smell it in there, but I still use it. It works fine. Yeah, sometimes mine sort of smells like a swimming pool a little bit. So yeah, it can. But then again, I don't know. Like I said, you use what works for you. So if you need distilled water, then use it. Yeah, if 1 gallon a year lasts you, then like I said, whatever works for you. I'm just letting you know what I do. I just, you know, tap water with a little bit of alcohol, run it through my airbrush, paint, have no issues. I always tell people, whatever the end project is, and if it looks good and you're happy with it, or if you paint it for someone and they're happy with it, that's all that counts. But there's a couple guys that flip out on you if you don't do what they do. kind of pull this down without shocking the screen. So I think the hair is pretty set. Clean it up a bit, add a couple strands here and there. Kind of like how it's coming around there. I still might flare some more pieces once this cured, give a little bit more fluff down here. And then after that, maybe prime it up and see where I need to clean it up a bit. Maybe might be some areas I may need to kind of clean up. Like maybe some stuff here, like Dremel out a little bit and then kind of get a little bit more lines in here. I just wanted to beef up some of the sides a bit, so I just add a little bit extra A's there. I think I might need to do a little bit more of that up top, but puffing this up here worked a little bit. I gotta clean it up in there too. Connecting this here today made this work a lot better around her back. So I think that's looking pretty good on that front. It's got a nice flow to it now. Alright, so some of this A's is tough. So damn it, did I forget to sand this stuff down? I think I did. Let me see here. Yeah, we can sand it down a bit now. Yeah, I need to sand it down and create too much dust here. Yeah, these are a little too high, so I gotta, you know what? I didn't want to get all this dusty and dirty. Give me a few seconds to go into the garage and sand this down. Without screwing up the hair. You can stare at bugs for a second. Be right back.
wash out these brushes. They're getting clogged up a bit.
Okay, Raz. Did you send it now? Holy crap! I got so many emails. Okay. I'm thinking, like, if we get this arm positioned correctly, I may want you to print out a couple hands left and right. You know, just cut them off at the wrist and print up a bunch of the different hands. I'm thinking that as well. I'm thinking maybe one left arm, one right arm, long ways, you know, like the long arms, and then one left arm and one right arm that's bent, and then a bunch of the hands. And this way I can figure out, you know, I can use it for the other items. I'm thinking. So once we get the scale right, I'll let you know what I'm thinking we should do, or what I need basically. Because I got that one Catwoman body that we're trying to get it in scale, and then I got 2 more of those other Catwoman bodies, but no hands for them, and the arms I want to reposition the arms. So, and then yeah, I think that's kind of where I'm at with that. I figure if I can get all this stuff kind of ready, I can start figuring out what I'm gonna do on some of those items. One of them's for me, the other one's for me, and then I got some side items, so I figure I have all, because those arms that came with the item are kind of eh. Somebody in my other chat said that Nightcrawler has 2 mothers now? Biological mothers? What the hell is Marvel doing? Like, I stopped reading X-Men books a long time ago, and everything that they're doing now seems to be just weird. I guess they're getting ready for the movies. I don't know, I gotta watch the video. I can't watch the video right now. I'll watch it later, but I think it's Clownfish TV's video. Yeah, I guess I've kind of figured that's what they were hinting at. Always got to make everything for the modern audience, even though the modern audience is not buying the comic books. But we got to make it for them. That's what I never understood. We're gonna make it for the modern audience, but they're not the ones paying you at all for any of this stuff. You know what it is too? They're not focused on just like heroes and villains anymore. It's like, what next can we kill off a character and destroy the history? Yeah, I saw that hostile takeover thing. It's about time because either they're either going down with the ship or somebody else needs to take the control. So, because they haven't made any money at all in how many movies? Like, what is it? Every movie that they put out so far has lost money. But then again, Disney's not about making money anymore. All about the political bullshit. Yeah, there's a lot of rumors now that like not Warner Brothers, what's the other one? Not Warner Brothers, the other big movie company. Not DC. Damn it! Why I'm drawing a blank. Universal. Like isn't like Universal going to like they're like taking over of like popular movies and making profit and stuff. Is it Universal? I think it was Universal. the Jonathan Hickman stuff, is that a lot of the recent stuff here that's been going on? Like I said, I'm so out of the loop with X-Men, I couldn't even tell you what the hell's going on. I stopped X-Men after House of M. House of M killed X-Men for me. Alright, let me check Raz. Let's see what you did. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. I think keep them all that size, and I think we got it. Yeah. So, if you can, when do you think you want to start printing them up? Do you want to do it like tonight, this weekend, or next week? I don't know. Like, I'm not in a rush for them. I just want to figure out what I need and what hands and stuff. So, I don't know. You let me know. Yeah, if you figure it out and you let me know, what I'll do is I'll send you an email of everything I want, and then you just hold on to the email until you're ready. Like I said, these are not items I need next week. This is personal stuff that I won't be working on for a while. I just figure if I have them on hand, I can start planning things out on this, like, you know, whenever I'm just like standing and staring at the item. But yeah, I'm in no rush for any of this stuff. So if you have to, focus on your enclosure first. Honestly, I don't even care if you don't get to them till like February, January, or whenever. So, like I said, don't feel forced you need to get it done soon. It's just one of those things you could kind of keep in the back of your mind in case you have free time. We got commissions, do those first. Okay, like I said, yeah, get your box focus first. Take your time getting that done, because I know that's way more important than trying to force something out the door. So yeah, like I said, just put my stuff aside, get your box going. This I use as filler, but I can't show the item I'm filling because YouTube won't like that at the moment. Alright, right, yeah, Raz, I would really focus on that enclosure first. Get that up and running. Take your time, get it worked out. Because once you get the enclosure done, you could bang stuff out a lot faster. Oh, okay. Nah, YouTube is YouTube's being a little bit weird lately. Like, even when I started the stream, a new window came up saying that, do you want to have live stream ads running? So YouTube is hurting for money, I guess. So they want, and I was like, nope, don't want to run live ads while I'm streaming. I mean, ads don't come up when I stream, do they? I've never had that option pop up before. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I guess they're trying to have people run them live streams. So I don't know, it came up. I know when everything is archived, there's ads running, you know. Ooh, almost screwed up the sneakers. Alright, but I think we're done for the day, but got the hair running. So I think what I'll do is this week I'll see if I can sand this down a bit, then prime it up, and then from there I'll see like where I need to put extra pieces of hair. I gotta try to sand down the base too and stain it, and then start wrapping it up when I paint it. So I mean work on it, because I'm starting to get too much like stuff on here. So I gotta sand this down and stain it. I gotta, or come up with a, just like a setup of base just so I can work on her. But hair's looking good. I'm happy with it. It's got a nice flow to it. A little bit more detailing here and there. I think once I prime it up, I'll see what I need to do a little bit more. Then all I need to do after this now is once I finish up the hair, I gotta clean her up some more. I gotta sand everything because I'm starting to get dirty again on the legs. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a bow here, like it's kind of like tied a bit, and I'm gonna kind of tweak it around the edges more. So, and then for her sneakers, I'm gonna put a bow on this one, but I'm gonna make these laces like they're loose. So this one will be tied, this one will be loose. And I think with that being said, just kind of keep cleaning it up, and we're pretty much running down to the fine details on it. And I'll start, like I said, I gotta start prepping up the other two characters for paint. And maybe by the end of the month or January we can start painting these two. I had to do some molding and casting this week for an item I'm working on for someone. So I made 3 generic bases too, just to get ready for the Jessica Rabbits as well. So we're getting there. But alright guys, that's where I'm going to call it for the night. Sorry about the late stream, but Comcast screwed me on that. But alright, so you guys have a good rest of your weekend, and see what I can get going next week.